Hi everybody, my name's Carm from a town called Berwyn, which is just outside Chicago. This is my introduction to the vinyl community. I've been influenced and inspired by videos I've seen over the last, I guess since about March of this year. Saw Derek's videos and many others along the way and decided it was finally time to try this myself. I don't have exactly what you would call a large collection by the standards of a hardcore collector, but I do think it's unorthodox to say the least, and well, I'll just start off showing a basic cross selection of what I have and what I've had over the last 20 odd years, and I'll just say a few words about each album and see what y'all think. Adelbert von Dyen, Stearns, German electronic, very much in the vein of Klaus Holst, especially his early work like Cyborg and Irrlicht off the Sky label, wonderful label. Stephen Halpern, Starborn Suite, very relaxing, meditative electric and acoustic keys synthesizer, pioneer in what's known as New Age music. Leona Boyd, Persona, a wonderful classical guitarist, and a very eclectic album. Heard this one a long time ago, probably I was still in 8th grade, and there's a couple songs on here that Memories of a Thousand Moons and Sorceress, they really stuck with me after all this time. Rogue Element by members of Soft Machine, Hugh Hopper and Elton Dean, among others, on the Ogun label from I believe 1978. Yeah, 1978. Nice mixture of straight ahead and freeform approaches to this music. Neil Ardley, Harmony of the Spheres. Very nice fusion record. Very keyboard and synthesizer driven. I've had this for about 10 years now and had never heard of him before that, so this is really a pleasant surprise. From Decca label, also 1978. Enrico Rava Quartet, wonderful Italian trumpeter with Roswell Rudd trombone, Jeff Jenny Clark bass, Aldo Romano on drums, on ECM label, which I'd say about a third of my vinyl collection is on ECM. I've never been able to get enough of this label since I first heard it when I was about 16. Wonderful, and again another wonderful mix of I guess straight ahead and free, and alternating between the two. Neu, Hallo Gallo, wonderful German duo, a long history in the German scene, also known as Krautrock, for lack of a better term, on the Rock On brand label. Another group, I've had this since about 95 or 96, and I'd never heard of them before this, and just kind of picked it up on a lark, and you know, cool cover, and been really heavily enjoyed it ever since. The Planets by Gustav Holst, interpreted here electronically by Patrick Gleason, one of my all-time favorite pieces of music, and I can listen to it being played on any context, whether electronic, acoustic, or however. Robin Kenyatta, Girl from Martinique. I've seen this shown a couple times. I believe both Derek and Chris Cole, John Coltrane 68. Hadn't heard this in a long time and really enjoyed it. Wolfgang Downer on keys, one of my favorites. Conrad Schnitzler, Zug, very important figure in my opinion in the German scene and just overall avant-garde scene, electronic, over the last 40 plus years. I believe he passed away not long ago, but he seems like someone who ties together a lot of aspects of these various scenes. Spontaneous Music Ensemble, free improvisation from Britain. This one's from the early 70s, I believe, 71. John Stevens, Trevor Watts, Julie Tippett, formerly Julie Driscoll, wonderful singer. Not familiar with the bass player Ron Herman, but very far out, to say the least. I was fortunate to see Trevor Watts live with his Celebration band, and he's kind enough to sign this for me. Been getting into this music a little more lately after not hearing it for a while. Armchair Boogie, Michael Hurley and pals. Really fun, idiosyncratic singer-songwriter. Very much creates his own universe, does his own artwork. Been around for well over 40 years, maybe close to 50 years. Still performing, and still very creative. A lot of fun. A Theme of Secrets, Eddie Jobson. Wonderful electronic music created on the Synclavier from the mid-80s. 85 on the private music label. This is the kind of thing I could listen to all day and all night, and this is probably some of the first music of a non-mainstream nature that I got into, probably when I was about 14, and it still resonates with me after all this time. Sam Rivers, Paragon on the Fluid label. Probably my all-time favorite saxophonist, one of my favorite improvisers, jazz musicians in general. No one sounds quite like him. And of course his fellows on the album aren't exactly slouches themselves. Dave Holland and Barry Elschel, wonderful bass and drums. Pac-Man Fever, a bit of a novelty record, I suppose, from the early 80s. A lot of fun, kind of in a Weird Al Yankovic mode. But definitely good for some laughs, and whenever I find things like this, at a reasonable price, I'll pick them up. Just something to have fun with. Jim Pepper, Pepper's Powwow, wonderful late lamented saxophonist and composer of Wichita Toe, covered by a lot of different groups, Oregon, Jan Gabarek. I'll show the inside here. I believe that's his father, Gilbert Pepper, who did some vocals and wrote some of the songs. Just very inspirational music. American Indian, even country influences as well as jazz. And well, ending up with Oregon, my all-time favorite band. I heard them almost immediately after high school, and they've just been my favorite ever since. I can't describe what their music's meant to me over the years. Got to see them live about 10 years ago, and they're still playing, still highly creative. Ralph Towner, Paul McCandless, Glenn Moore, and late Colin Walcott here. Now they have drummer Mark Walker, who's actually a local Chicago player, and he's fantastic. I don't know if you could hear in the background, or I don't know, maybe it's a little too loud. Crystal Fantasy by Michel Genest. Very much in the style of Guitarro, as far as I can tell. Wonderful synthesizer music, or visionary synthesizer music it's described here, on Sonagaya from the mid-80s. Well, that'll conclude this video. This has been quite difficult for me. I've never done a video before, and this is a new experience for me, so I hope to hear from you all. Please comment, tell me what you thought, tell me what I could do better. It's been wonderful sharing this with you, and I hope to keep sharing further with all of you and hearing back from you all. This is a wonderful community from what I've been able to tell so far. And special thanks especially to Derek for the initial inspiration, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that I got to meet in person Chris Cole, John Coltrane 68 recently, being that we're both reside in the greater Chicagoland area. It was at Half Price Books. I saw him there and I recognized him and approached him, and we began talking, and hopefully we'll get together more, be able to get together more often, and just keep communicating with everyone else. So thank you all for watching, those of you who've watched, and just thank you all for the inspiration, and please comment. Till next time. Thank you.